What's shaking, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock, and we're back with some more Bad Religion. I wanted to listen to a tune, again, as I said, sort of from all the different albums, and then we'll come back to some of the albums I've already reacted to, but like I said, I wanted to hop around a little bit. So we're going to listen to a tune from New Maps of Hell. This album, does it say when it came out here? It'd be very convenient. Of course, it does not, or at least it's written so damn small I can't read it. But I can tell you, let me just get Discogs working for me here. New Maps of Hell came out 2007. I was going to say 2008 or 2009, so I would have been a little bit off, but I do, yeah, it's the general period I was thinking. I really do enjoy this album. I believe this is one of the last ones where Brian Baker is in the group. As you can see, it was a sort of big group at this point. Shout out to the artwork. I do like the picture of them just, I don't know if it's, what is it, Sunset? Yeah, so it's, you know, it's their stomping grounds out in LA, which makes me think of that old Goldfinger song, Fuck LA. If anyone's ever heard it, there's a part where they're like, it's a really sort of hard, aggressive song, and then there's this real contrast, like almost kind of like Lounge Lizard part in the middle, and they say, don't get me wrong, LA's got some great bands, No Effects, Badger Legion, and I was always amused of, you know, saying, I don't know what you call those, it's not a solipsism, I forget what you call it, but it's basically, you know, a joke, a play on words for Bad Religion, but it sounds almost identical when you say it. So sometimes when I refer to Bad Religion, I say Badger Legion. Nevertheless, we're going to listen to the tune New Dark Ages. Lyrically, I think there's sort of two things going on here. Like, one, and, you know, speaking to the time when it was written, when, you know, it was sort of the beginning of like the internet becoming this like, well, you know, my YouTube video is as good as your, like, you know, medical degree or like whatever. So I think part of what it's talking about is the sort of like rise of like bad thinking even beyond, you know, historical levels, and because of the nature of modern technology, the sort of reach of this like misinformation and disinformation and so on. But there's also a lot of lyrics to, like, sort of speaking of a kind of, like, religious millenarian sort of, you know, rapture kind of concept, which the way the lyrics drive together, it feels like it's saying, like, you know, there's a lot of bad thinking, there's a lot of, you know, erroneous conclusions that are now proliferating to a great degree. It's sort of this new dark ages, and if only... You know, if only we were religious, you know, we could hope that, you know, somehow we'd be plucked straight out of this. Just, you know, we wouldn't even die. We'd just be pulled straight up in this kind of rapture and, you know, exist out in space while it all goes to shit. So again, you know, maybe my interpretation is off. Let me know if you have a different one. But that's sort of the way that I took this song when I got this album. I remember when I got this album, I was so pumped on it. I really did enjoy it. Here's the, you know, crossbuster on the front. I was really excited because I really thought I had a good, like, classic Bad Religion sound. At the time I was playing weekend soccer, you know, pretty, like, decent amateur league, I will say, but nevertheless, I remember picking up a friend of mine. We were driving together to the game, and he was a fan of Bad Religion too, and he was like, oh, you got the new album? Fuck yeah. And we put it in and we were rocking out. I remember, like, on the way to the game, getting pumped up for the game, and this song in particular, I remember really sort of, like, hitting right. Like right as we were getting to the field, you know, rocking it loud. But yeah, bottom line, that's what I think is going on in this song, that it's sort of a, you know, a worry about the state of, like, intellectual discourse and, you know, public discourse, civic discourse and so on, sort of intertwined with this sort of, like, religious metaphor of, like, you know, hoping that we could just be taken right out of it and not have to deal with, like, this descent of descent into misinformation. So here we go. This is New Dark Ages by Bad Religion on New Maps of Hell, 2007. Love this intro. I like when a line starts before the measure. Unrelenting. Or unrelenting. I mean, either way. Oh. There's a part at the end I forgot to talk about I'll come back to it after the song.
Welcome to the new dark ages. Yeah, I hope you're living right. These are the new dark ages, and the world might end tonight.
I love that guitar work. It's simple, but it's kind of like serious and like dramatic.
Welcome you children, one and all. Let's heed Ezekiel's calling. Fight until
And even Ezekiel thinks that my mind is going. Erased. I love that drum roll. And the like when they slide on the strings. Interlude? Stripped down interlude anybody? This basically talks about humans. We're fundamentally, we're mammals, we're primates, we're the fifth ape species. The idea that, you know, we're always going to be logical and find right ways to think and get the right information. Good luck. At least not consistently or on a long enough timeline. Got goosebumps, man. You see that? Probably can't see it, but for real. I mentioned before, I love Greg's vocalizations, like it's, you know, come on, or sit down, and the older ones, and that, you know, sing it again, it really sort of felt that same, like, you know, he's imploring the crowd to feel it and to, like, rock out to it. Yeah, big shout out to this whole album. I really like it. And I should mention, you know, New Maps of Hell. They're, you know, I was talking about 8085. I was like, oh, it's a bunch of EPs. It is a couple EPs, but it's also their first proper LP, their first proper album. How Could Hell Be Any Worse? For some reason, I was thinking that was an EP or something. But yeah, it's like 11 tracks or something like that. It's definitely an album. And it is, you know, referred to as their first album. So that's my bad. But yeah, so... whatchamacallit, this album, New Maps of Hell, I think is a sort of like update to that concept that like, how could hell be any worse? Well, check it out. There's like some new maps of hell, and believe it or not, it is in fact worse. So that's sort of the way I took the album title, as a sort of conceptual follow-up to their, you know, opening salvo, if you will. Nevertheless, let me know if you enjoy this album. I really do like it. I think it has a great fucking sound. I think maybe next I'm going to react to something on The Empire Strikes First. I don't think I've touched that album yet, and that was the one right before this one. I think that was 04, after Process of Belief, which is what, 02 maybe? So yeah, just trying to go through the different albums, go through the whole catalog. There's so much good stuff. I really do want to get to all. And again, I'm going to be on this channel like permanently now, because again, I may get access to the other channel and be able to download the old videos, which for my techno people is going to be more essential. I've done a lot of the more punk rock stuff in recent times, even since I started this channel, and I have most of the stuff since I started this channel on my computer, like permanently, because now I'm never going to delete anything again, because I didn't know that I was going to need to keep the stuff on my computer, because I thought I was just going to keep using that same channel. So it's all a bit unfortunate, but whatever, you know, there's way more unfortunate things happening to people in all different parts of the world, at just about every level, so I really don't want to grovel about my YouTube situation. But the reality is, this is where I'm going to be doing videos from now on, and I will try to get techno videos for those people who, you know, had been following me for years on the other channel, so I haven't forgotten about you. But, you know, I am exploring this punk rock thing, because, as I mentioned, I listened to punk rock even before techno, so, like, the fact that there are some people who want to see these videos and comment on them and so on, it does inspire me a great deal. So hopefully you're here for it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.